All right, for these 6 examples, which technically are part of your homework, but you could be starting them early if you're done with your class notes already, you're going to be solving for 2 things. You're going to be solving for the inside missing angle right here, here and here, and here and here, using triangle sum theorem. All the angles inside add up to 90. And the trick to those is that you have to know, all the triangles add up to 180. The trick is that all these are 90, right? These little squares, so you have those as well. But besides those angles, you're also going to be using Pythagorean theorem from middle school or from Math 1 in order to solve for the outside side. So here and here and here. Sometimes it's a hypotenuse, the longest side that's missing, and sometimes it's just a leg that's missing. So let's go practice this. This is a skill that we need to find a missing side when given 2 sides, but the notes you just took are to find a missing side when given 1 angle and 1 side. So now you're going to have 2 methods for finding a missing side after today's notes, and you'll practice that more this week. Okay, let's go do the angle first for number 1. So you've got 90 plus 53.18 plus missing angle A equals 180. So I'm grabbing a calculator. 90 plus 53.18 is 143. And so minus that from 180. I'm getting 36.82 degrees. This is for the first one, number 1. So now that you see what we're doing, pause this video and go try it. Okay, for the next angle, did you get 90 plus 30 plus the unknown A? And 90 plus 30 is 120. Subtracting 120 from both sides, we just get that A is 60. Next one, we've got a 45. 45 plus 90 is 135. Subtracting 135 from both sides, we get another 45 degrees. Okay, down here on this guy, we've got 90 plus 34.99 plus the unknown A. So 90 plus 34.99 is 124.99. Subtract 124.99 from both sides, we get 55.01 degrees. Okay, you should be pausing the video and trying these and double checking that you're getting them on your own. $90 plus 68.2 is 158.2. Minusing 158.2 from both sides, $90 plus 67.38. 90 plus 67.38 minus 157.38 from both sides. All right, check to see how you did on those angles. Now that right there was the work for the angles. We're now going to go do the work for the missing side using Pythagorean. Now you learned back in middle school or in Math 1 that Pythagorean was a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It's the sum of the two squares of each side equals the longest side, the hypotenuse squared. Well, we're going to start using the real formula of leg squared plus leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared, so that it doesn't matter if there's a side length of A or B or what letters are on those. It's just what is the square of the two sides, sum those, and that equals the hypotenuse squared. So let's go take a peek here at this first one. Here we're given a hypotenuse and we're finding a missing side n. So we'd write leg squared plus unknown leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. 3 squared is just 9. So how do I know that the 5 is the hypotenuse? 5 is on the longest side, and 5 is across from the right angle. In order to solve for n, I need to take the square root of both sides, and then I just get that n is equal to 4. If I don't tell you the units, like inches, feet, you're just going to write 4 units. Okay, so that's your answer for number 1 for the missing side length n. All right, let's go to the next guy. We're going to squish all this work in where we can. I've got a 4 for a leg, I've got an n for a missing leg, and I've got an 8. So I've got 4 squared plus unknown leg squared is equal to hypotenuse squared. I'm going to minus 16 from both sides, and I get 48. And when I go to take the square root of 48, remember that sometimes we don't get perfect squares. So we would write n is equal to root 48, or the simplified radical of that, what times what equals 48. You know how it's 16 times 3, and the square root of 16 is 4, and root 3 stays under. So I would write this as root 48, or 4 root 3, the simplified radical, units. If I typed this into a calculator, it would give me a decimal answer. I'll go over those in just a second so you can check your work. So answer for this guy is 4 root 3 units. Simplifying that radical. Okay, next one, we've got a 6 squared plus 6 squared equals missing hypotenuse n squared. That's 36 plus 36, or 72. When I take the square root of both sides, again, I get a radical 72, which can be simplified into the square root of 36 times 2. And the square root of 36 is just 6, so the root 2 stays underneath, and u for units. So my final answer for this one, 6 root 2 u for units. That's the missing side. Next, I've got 10 squared plus 7 squared is equal to the missing hypotenuse squared. That's going to give me 149. Square root both sides. And I get n is equal to the square root of 149. Let's try to break that one down for a second. That one's not as straightforward. 149 divided by 3 doesn't work. 149 divided by 4 doesn't work. 149 divided by 6, nope. 149 divided by 7, nope. 149 divided by 8, nope. 149 divided by 9, nope. 149 divided by 11, divided by 12, 13, nope. Okay, so I'm not seeing a way that I can break down the 149. So you can just go ahead and call it 149u for units. And then I'll look at the decimal answer here with you in just a second. Next one, 2 squared plus 5 squared equals our missing hypotenuse squared. When I go to take the square root of this, I also can't break it down. So I just get root 29, u for units. Last but not least, we've got a leg squared plus other leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. 5 squared is 25, 13 squared is 169. When I minus 25 from both sides, I get 144. When I square root both sides, I get that the missing leg is 12 units long. And there's my last two answers. Okay, so that's how you do it. But real quick, I'm just going to show you the key. Oh, I didn't do the decimals on it anyways. But so anyways, here's the final answers for all of those, how they should have been broken down, or how if they were prime, they just stay as those radicals. Okay, hope you remember how to do those.